Hello, everyone. This is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation and co-owner of Park Place Realty. Today, we're going to talk about how you can maximize your rental income from your tenants. All right, let's go straight into it. So obviously, if you're collecting rent every single month, you're trying to see how you can get more money, right? Then there's nothing wrong with that. Tenants are used to paying more for rent over time for various reasons I'm going to go over. And if, of course, if you're a tenant watching this, you're probably, I don't know how you'll feel. Don't get upset, but it's business, okay? And if, again, you have two options. Either you can pay rent or you can collect rent. Or, of course, you can just buy your own house. Don't worry about either or, right? But again, this isn't for you to feel bad about anything. It's more like, going to McDonald's and then mad that they don't have, a certain item, on the menu or something like that. Just go to a different restaurant, and so again, but if you are a property owner, okay, we have to maximize what we can get, for our rentals. That's the shortest version of it. All right. People are used to paying rent, and paying rent is not a bad thing. Everyone makes, a transition in their lives, and some people are comfortable with it. Some people are moving on to the next phase. I don't have to go too deep into it, but either way, it's nothing wrong with paying rent, and there's most definitely nothing wrong with collecting rent. You choose which route you want to go. All right. So how can you maximize your rent? One of the easiest ways is just keeping up with the market. A lot of times what landlords do when they make mistakes, they'll have a rental unit at a certain amount, and then after that tenant's been there for, let's say, 2-3 years, they usually just keep the rent the same or similar. That's one of the worst things that you can do. You have to keep up with the marketplace. The marketplace, you'd be surprised, rents go up. Things go up $25, $50, $75, $100 without any changes to the building sometimes. Now, granted, you can't go substantially higher, but you got to keep an eye on what's happening in the neighborhood, keeping an eye on what people are agreeing to in the neighborhood. Okay, so if so every 2 years, look at what you're charging for rent and make sure that it's competitive, make sure that it's making sense, and obviously making sure that you're making a profit. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, well, I'm not even going to number them because it's a lot. So next we'll go into coin operated laundry. Okay, now granted, you can be nice and give a washer and dryer. My wife and I did that. We lived in a property, and we had a washer and dryer. We just let that tenant, stay in there, but we charged them a little bit more because they had a washer and dryer. The unit that was under them, they didn't have any washing, material. So, but what I've been seeing a lot of my clients do, they'll get coin operated washers and dryers. And now, granted, they cost a little bit more, but again, it's a one-time fee that you're paying for it. And I think they're probably not like at least $900 just for a washing machine, and then another $900 for just the dryer. Okay, so keep that in mind if you plan on doing that. It's gonna run you, about $2,000, obviously, plus installation or at least delivery. Okay, so but of course you can always increase your rent that way. The next one is keeping the property updated, right? So I've seen people, move their tenants around, like from floor to floor. Let's say if someone moves out and you move into another floor, if they can do that. If not, I've seen them kind of block off a certain section inside of the apartment, place. If that's doing too much, trust me, I understand. Do what you can. Do the common area, do the basement if you have it, do the attic, do the storage, do the garage, do the outside, right? You can always keep things nice and neat. Sometimes just a little bit of landscaping helps, and not only will you just get value, sometimes that will attract a better tenant as well too. So that's another way to kind of go about it as well. Now, of course, one of the most common things that I've seen, especially up here in the Midwest, a lot of properties that people are paying rent at, it includes amenities. It includes some nice things. For example, it may include heat. So instead of a person trying to figure out what the heating bill is going to be, you can just essentially leave it at one amount, and then you can kind of control the heat. I stayed at a place where it was heat controlled. We didn't have to pay the heat, the gas bill, as we say. We didn't have to pay it, but we also didn't control it. So it was always, it would only go up to a certain max, and it would also only come on when we asked for it to be cut on, not daily, but we're talking about just heat being on in general, right? And then there was like a max. It wouldn't go past like 75. I know some people, they're like, oh my God, you like have, listen, the highest I probably got in the house is probably like 78. But some people, they like, oh no, I don't want to be in nothing past 70. And also too, if it's too hot, then you start, the crazy things can happen, but either way, but yes, you can also offer, paying their heating bill, whether it's electric or whether it's gas. Okay. Some people have even kind of made things more modern, and they're giving free Wi-Fi. Now, granted, when you start doing like things like Wi-Fi, you got to be careful because that can bog down, the actual internet usage, so depending on your clientele, I mean, your tenants as well, too, because I've had tenants where they were a little bit older. They really didn't too much care about Wi-Fi. And I've also had younger tenants or tenants that had, they had kids, and then now you got the tablets, their phones, they got all this stuff, that's in there. And now that's starting to bog down the internet. So yeah, it's free. And now it comes with the rent, but like, is it really usable? Right. So a lot of these places give free Wi-Fi or, complimentary Wi-Fi, whatever. But then what's the quality, of that? So a lot of people have done that. If you have cameras on your building, I've seen people give access to the camera so they can like download the app. They can't really move them, but they have apps in which, you can have people just as, like a guest account on there. And they can just kind of just look at it, just in case, if they go on vacation, they say, oh, I got access to the cameras, or whatever. So what I've learned is that if you make tenants feel like they own the property, they'll start treating it like they own the property. It's just that simple, because there's ownership there. There's trust that's built. OK, so that always helps as well. Sorry, I got like a little list because I'm like, man, as I start writing stuff down, I was like, oh, yeah, I have seen this with my clientele and there's great things that they've been doing. Now, let's talk about things that you can also do to save money. Right. Because we always talk about, making money, but you can also do some things to save money as well, too. And that's like, making an agreement, with your tenants. I did a video on this more so for people who are renting and trying to, reduce the rent costs. But this is a thing. This is something that can also help property owners, property managers, as well. And that is making an arrangement for people, who live there to do some maintenance. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of tenants that are really good handymen or handy women. And of course, they can kind of fix some things, inside the building. So they can be the first point of contact, for the building. And then if it's something that's out of their reach or something that they don't feel like doing, or if they're not responsive, then you could be the second, point of contact, assuming you don't have a property manager, which is perfectly fine. But either way, they can call that person for general maintenance. Right. I think that's something that's really old school that a lot of people don't do anymore, but ask people, hey, listen, what can you do around here? You'd be surprised. Some people are plumbers. Some people are electricians. A lot of people have a lot of trades. A lot of people don't mind being, the person that fixes stuff. They don't mind that, or at minimum, like in Chicago, it snows, right? So you can have an arrangement with them. Hey, it's the winter season. I'm going to reduce your rent down to whatever dollars. And, I'm going to buy the bags of salt. All you got to do is just, put the salt down for me. It's either that or you're going to be doing it, right? Either you, your maintenance people, your property managers, whomever. But there's nothing easier than someone who already lives at the building, and all they got to do is like, man, we saving $50 a month. We saving $75 a month. All they got to do is go downstairs and, just open up the bag of salt, throw the salt out and go back to sleep, so you'd be surprised. Again, ownership. A lot of people like, they like that. Same thing with cutting the grass or lawn maintenance, in general, picking up trash that's around, the area as well, too. And I mean, those are just great things that you can do for sure. OK, so those are ways that you can maximize your rental income as well as maximizing your overall revenue, just kind of keeping costs down from hiring other professionals if people obviously live in the building and they are willing to help. OK, hopefully this video was helpful. Of course, we're always looking for you to trying to help as many people possible accomplish their financial goals. And that could be, owning a rental property. You most definitely can do it. All right. So if you like this video, like it, you want to share it. And as always, be sure to subscribe as we have nothing but great content on the way. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.